Welcome back to the 2010 Peter Stevens Motorcycles Victorian Senior Motocross Championships. Well, if you watched our show a couple of weeks ago on the juniors, you would have seen a segment where we put your questions to Motorcycling Victoria. Well, we had a few more things we had to find out for you, so this week we thought we'd take another look at a segment we simply like to call Ask MV.
Some exciting plans for 2010. That'll primarily involve continuing the development of our strategic plan, which we implemented last year, and that's all about becoming the biggest and best state controlling body that we can possibly be. We're working closely with a lot of the management committees to grow their disciplines and grow their sport. We're working closely with motocross management this year to grow their state championship events, to get more people along, and hopefully then in turn that has an effect at all levels of the sport. So even the club events sometimes can become bigger, and we're working with all disciplines to do that. We're working closely with our officials trainers to help get officials numbers up. Obviously that's a big problem. You need to have a large number of officials to ensure that the events go ahead smoothly, so it includes increasing our officials training capacity. So rather than just having one trainer to cover all of Victoria, we'll have 4 or 5 or 6 trainers across the state. We can reach more people at more times, so we can train more officials to ensure that each club has a good number of officials that they can reliably call upon. And also junior development activities revolve around the MotorSafe program and getting our message into primary schools about safety education and what we offer as a sport. And that's also what we're doing this year, is ramping up our efforts to promote the MotorSafe program, getting that back into primary schools and delivering that safety message, and then just continuing on with our day-to-day operations and making sure that we're staying on top of things here, getting the licences out on time, getting the permits out on time, making sure all our tracks are safe. So we've got a lot of plans, and with the new CEO on board, I think that will really help. Much like any other sport, really, you can't survive without your volunteers, and these people are crucial. Otherwise, we would have to have a massive amount of people in the office just to ensure that the sport would run on a week-to-week basis. And it's really these people that are the cornerstone of making sure that the sport's successful and grows into the future. So they're massively important, not just the motocross committee, that goes for all the committees as well. Without them, the sport of motorcycling in general just couldn't exist, because there just wouldn't be enough resources to do it. Each event needs to have proper first aid in place, and it depends on the level of the event as to what level of first aid needs to be at the event. So there's always got to be a first aid provider there, and I know motocross management this year for their state championships have employed a company specifically to do that, who professionalise in that, so that's fantastic to see. It just all comes with the professionalism of the sport. And obviously the tracks have to be licensed each year as well, so that's making sure that the tracks are actually safe, making sure the jumps are safe for riders to go on, and everything around the track as well. So when the person goes out to inspect the venue, it's not just the track they're looking at, it's the surroundings of the track to make sure it's safe for not only the riders but the spectators that are coming along as well. So certainly the first aid is the major component of that, making sure that there's first aid providers on hand, ready and waiting in case there is an accident that takes place. Certainly is. We've got a 4-year strategic plan that we implemented last year, and that's aim is to get us to become the #1 state in Australia, and we're working towards that. I think as evidenced by our licence numbers over the last 5 years, we've had 5 years of consistent growth in our licence numbers, which is a positive sign given the tough economic times that we've got facing us at the moment. We've got continued growth there, and the sport continues to grow in terms of popularity. It's ever so slightly increasing its way into the mainstream sporting landscape, which is very important. Obviously there's some people that have a misconception about what the sport is, so I think the awareness that we're creating about the sport is helping to grow the sport and grow people's awareness about it, and realise that it's not a dangerous sport that people think it is. It's a safe sport that's enjoyable to watch on TV, it's enjoyable to watch at the track. So I think the future for MV over the next 2 or 3 years is very, very bright.